I'm afraid we've got to pay more for our food. Our strawberries are beautiful strawberries, but I'm not ashamed to say they are expensive. That's what it costs to produce them. No one grows strawberries like this anymore, where they're actually in the soil, because it's just really, really hard work. You're on your knees all day reaching in, and at the end I see the pickers at the end of the day, especially some of the older ones. One of them gets on his bicycle and I worry whether he's going to make it back up the hill. We fuss about, the ergonomics of our keyboard and our screen and whether it's absolutely perfect. I mean, God, compare it to this, where you're bent double all day. So we are finally, after 30 years, it's like I feel I've learned how to grow strawberries, and really beautiful tasting strawberries. I mean, these are the very best strawberries you can buy. But the problem is getting them picked. I just don't think people are willing, possibly they're not even physically capable of doing this sort of work anymore. We have expectations have really changed, and I think that's probably the same over the country. So I guess one has to ask, why is it like that, and maybe what the solutions are. Historically, this sort of seasonal, physical, agricultural, in particular horticultural work, has largely been done by those who live on the fringes of society, let's say. So when I started, we had a lot of New Age travellers who were living in caravans and buses, who would arrive during the strawberry season. And then a lot of East European labour, which most of whom have been required, have to go home now, so that's not available post Brexit. And a lot of UK people just don't want to do this work. I mean, I've got a lot of sympathy with them. It is extremely hard work, and mostly, not particularly well paid. I don't think it's surprising. I'm afraid to say that I think a lot of farmers have really got quite lazy in their employment practices. There's all been an underlayer of, you've got to call it modern day slavery. There has been some very dubious, illegal use of labour within the horticultural industry, something that we should be ashamed of. And why is that? Well, the reason we are in that situation is because the amount we spend on food has just gone down and down and down. It's now, I read on the internet, 8% in the UK, and we want it to be less. We're entering an economic crisis. People are hard up. Everyone's talking about food. It's got to be cheaper. What are we going to do about it? Fly people in from Nepal, or I mean, is that the world we want to live in, where we eat food that is produced by some sort of abused underclass? Is that really what we're happy with? I'm not. So, what are we going to do about that? We have to make the work more acceptable, in the modern world that we live in. So I have been experimenting with giant raised beds, a bit like a hedge of strawberries, which I'm quite excited by, actually. Okay, so 98% of the strawberries you buy in a supermarket will be grown either hydroponically, so there will be gutters at sort of waist height with sometimes rock wool, the stuff you have in your attic, or insulation in there, and water kind of trickling through it, and the plants are rooting into that, getting their nutrients, and the fruit hangs down. So it's incredibly kind of convenient and quick to pick. Or alternatively, they grow them in peat bags, again on tabletops. The use of peat is environmentally horrendous. We really shouldn't be digging up peat bogs, which are stores of carbon, and then using them as a disposable medium and throwing them away. I think that is completely horrendous and environmental insanity. So what we've done here in this experiment is build these kind of giant hedges to bring them up to about waist height, and planted the strawberries in the top. These are grown in soil, and the relationship of the plant with the soil I think contributes to not only to their flavour, to having a deeper and subtle flavour, but also I think it will be shown that they are nutritionally superior as well. So we'll be able to pick maybe twice as fast here, but maybe even more importantly than that, we'll be able to pick for 8 hours without being totally crippled at the end of the day. And I think it might be the way forward.